we develop terminology to be accurate. What is something that's toxic? What would make something toxic? If there was a toxic field near this convention center, if you wanted to plant a tree in that toxic field, what would happen to that tree? It would die. If you wanted to plant an ear of corn, it would die. Well, what would a toxic school culture look like? A place where educational reforms find their graveyard. That no matter how good the idea is, the environment becomes so toxic that even the best idea never gets fully implemented. And that's why he used that terminology. What is a toxic culture? It's a place where educators believe that student success is based solely upon a student's level of concern, attentiveness, prior knowledge, and willingness to comply with the demands of school. And they pass that on to others in overt and covert ways. Let's stop. Again, we have a belief system being evoked. But in a toxic culture, does it appear, and I want to ask you a question, I want you to think about this. If you read that first part of this definition, does it seem as if learning is impossible in a toxic culture? If you think yes, raise your hand. If you think no, raise your hand. Those who raised their hand and said learning is possible in a toxic culture, you're right. But there seems to be a big list of prerequisites. If you care, if you pay attention, if your parents read to you when you were little, if you do what I tell you to do. Now, are any of those characteristics bad characteristics? Absolutely not. If every child that walked into your classroom cared, paid attention, had background knowledge, and did exactly what we told them to do, this conference probably wouldn't even be necessary. But unfortunately, they don't all walk in the door like that. So what does it seem that a toxic culture does? They explain away their difficulties based upon if students have certain characteristics or don't. So they're a totally external, extrinsically motivated staff who says, if these things happen, then students will have an opportunity to learn. How would a healthy culture attack those issues? They would figure out what do we need to do to develop these characteristics in students so that they can learn. What's interesting about the difference between a healthy and a toxic culture is this. It's not that healthy cultures have fewer problems. Healthy cultures attack their problems differently, and toxic cultures explain their problems away.